Hi, it's Bridget. Hey, it's nice to see you. Okay, so it's been a minute since we've done a card reading, right? I mean, it's been a while. It feels like a while. So let's do one. Let's do an intuitive reading. A lot of people who are psychics actually use cards. Some people use like an oracle card. Just a second, I'm gonna take my socks off. It's too hot in here. Ooh, I don't want to have the fan on because otherwise it'll be too loud. So there you go. Ugh, can I be barefoot? All right, so what was I saying? A lot of psychic people who are genuinely intuitive, okay, they will use card decks to give you a perspective of the energetics of a situation or circumstance that you're dealing with. If you have questions about your life, it could be something in romance, it could be something in business, it could be something about health, it could be something about your kids, or just any number of things. And so cards are kind of a way to give a good visual for people. It's a great bridge between this like mysterious psychic realm of intuition, kind of feeling stuff, but not really tangibly seeing it. So a card presents an image that gives you the opportunity for your brain to buy in to the information that is coming out. So the translation of the information from the intuitive space shows in a card that's very tangible, an image and a gorgeous artwork, often gorgeous artwork. I put links below, by the way, to a lot of decks that I will use and also those that I will recommend for you, for clients to use as well, because you really should be using tools to help you with your own intuition. And you can do that for yourself. It can keep you positively focused. It can help you get a little clarity and step back from a situation when you do cards, because especially when you notice patterns, if you do them over and over again about a circumstance, situation, person, etc., you will see patterns and your brain will not let you let that go. So this is a point where your brain actually helps you with psychic info. So, and that's kind of the goal, isn't it? To make psychic and intuitive information practical, at least for me, here on Fairy Grasshopper YouTube, on Bridget Inspired Instagram and Facebook, and also at Above Life channel on YouTube as well. Make it practical, right? Okay. All right. So speaking along those lines, I have a brand new deck that is not really practical in a general kind of wheelhouse. Like this isn't a deck that I would start out with if I were you. This isn't like oh, let's learn about this. This is fun. This is not that deck for you. Okay. But I'm really excited about it because I've only had it for about 2 weeks. I've had it since I came back from Florida. And it's working with one particular spirit guide that I love, and that she is literally a bestie for me. And I'm finally just embracing her in my life because we have a lot in common. You know, she has 3 aspects to her, and sometimes people misunderstand her. And at the same time, she's willing to show up and deal with things, deal with life, and really go into the fire for people, as am I. So this would be the Kali deck. Kali. Kali is a Hindu god-goddess aspect. She is known for her work as a creator, preserver, destroyer, or if you want to think about it as a storyline, the beginning, the middle, and the end, right? Or if you want to think of it in a spiritual context, you could think of it as the Trinity, right? Whether it be the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, or whether it be the Mother, Maiden, Matriarch energy, okay? So she holds the 3. And 3 is such an ascended number. It's such a balancing number. And for me in my work, when I see the energy of 3, there's usually a major lesson here or major mentoring coming through from a very strong, dominant spirit guide for you from your team. Or 3 is also true. This is true, Bridget, because it forms the points of a triangle or the sides of a triangle. So for me, a triangle, which is fire element in sacred geometry, fire triangle. That's me. I'm very comfortable with it. To me, it means true. And Kali burns away what isn't true. What isn't true? And she recognizes that the place in which the ashes fall, where they rest, where it seems like it's the ruins, it's the end. It's really just the transition into the beginning. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes. It's the new. So I have a lot of respect for Kali, but these decks, the decks from Alana Fairchild are amazing. If you're into your journey of psychic work or intuition, if you do a lot of divine feminine work or work with goddess or priestesses, this would fit you, and depending upon where you're at. But I would not start with this. I just wouldn't, unless you're super drawn to it, then trust your intuition. I also have a deck, I'm looking to see where it is. I also have another deck from Alana Fairchild, the Isis deck, and I've had that deck for about 4 years now, 4 years, I think. And then I didn't even realize they were the same person had the deck, and I saw this, and I knew I needed to connect with Kali to help me kind of use discernment in life now at this point, and really fiercely embody the understanding of the darkness and the shadow, and the third part, which is that alchemical energy that creates this light, and the cohesion between the shadow and the light that presents to us the wholeness of who we are. So there's those three aspects: the shadow, the light, and the fullness of all of it together. So yeah, I love this deck. It's awesome. Okay, so we're going to do one of these cards, but before we do one of these cards, I'm trying to think. Let's do, I don't know if I'll do these in this one. Maybe. There's a couple that I've been using. This deck is from Denise, Linn. It's linked below. It's the Sacred Destiny deck. And let me just see. I'll show you some of the pictures, the images of it. They have words on them too. And then there comes with a little guidebook that you can look up the information on if you need additional information. If you're just starting out, these are good decks. This one is Sacred Destiny. And then this one is from Kyle Gray, and I love this deck. My sister actually had it. This deck is from Kyle Gray. I think it's linked below. I think I have it below. This is the Angel Guide Oracle book. Okay, so these aren't tarot cards. These aren't tarot decks. Tarot has more of a storyline and a little bit more of a learning curve. If you're into that, if you love that kind of heritage, that ancestry, that lineage connection, then that might be your jam. I don't usually use cards like that. I just don't. I use all these other ones. That's just how I work. That's just how I roll. So, but if that's your thing, go for it. So this Kyle Gray deck by far has been my frenemy. We'll say that. This Kyle Gray deck has been my frenemy, because in going through stuff, it is extraordinarily accurate. Because even when I don't want to think about things, or like I want to be a little more optimistic or pie in the sky, or I ask stuff I should not be asking. Like if I'm digging into energy, that is just really not my business, not my business. And let me say, I'm human, so that happens. Like I kind of want to know stuff I don't need to know, because plus if I know it, it could hurt. And it's like, what's the point of that, you know? But at the same time, it's also like, you still have to make your own choices. You're still accountable and responsible for your own choices. So whatever the cards say, it's not destined, it's going to be that. It's here is a likely option based upon, or here are the options based upon the energy. This is what is seen and known right now. And you make a different move, you change all of that. That's why psychic readings happen over and over and over again, because it's just a snapshot in this moment with a grid that you are connected to and that you buy into. If you change your belief system or value, you better bet those options are going to change for you, those choices, for sure. And the universe is spontaneous. So it surprises and delights you, even when it doesn't feel so good to have that spontaneity. Sometimes stuff comes in and throws you off a bit, but then you still get to decide. You have discernment. Do not go to a psychic and assume that whatever they say is written in stone, because it's not. The thing is, though, is if you believe that, you will follow the steps to make sure that psychic reading comes true. Because you are the factor, you are the aliveness and the energy, the battery for that reading. So if you want that to play out, or if you just believe that it's out of your control and this is just what's going to be, both of those things will be true because you make it true. Okay. You make it true. A psychic reading is a forecast like the weather. Okay. And we know that's unpredictable. So too is energy, and in a good way, not a bad way. This isn't bad. This is about leveraging the energy and then working with your ability to discern what is best for you and in most alignment for what is really good for you. Okay. It's like I have to say that because I'm realizing when I do psychic work, and I do it kind of old school, just with like a card deck or something, it seems like people really just tend to want to just give their power into the reading and be like, okay, that's just going to happen then. It's like, no, just because a psychic sees that, that's just one view, one potential. You know, have you ever been to like a concert where it's in a huge freaking arena, like so big, and the people in the front row have a very different experience than the people in the middle section on the side and the distorted view part way up at the top? Because some people have to just watch the big jumbo screens. Some people can actually see the band. Some people can actually touch the musician, that kind of thing. That's the same thing with the card reading. So if you go to different psychics or you do different readings for yourself, you're getting different aspects and perspectives. So do not give your power away in a reading. Take it as information and decide how you want to interact with the energy that creates your life, which is you. Nothing is just happening to you. You are creating that. Wow, that sounds kind of sassy, Bridget. It's just the truth, you guys. You need to understand that. Because I get readings too, and I'm like, yeah, yes, I see how that could unfold if I wasn't in awareness. And now that I am, here are the things that I choose. What do I choose? That's what you should be asking yourself when you step out of a reading. What do I want? What do I choose? And then you manifest that. You work with that energy. You use your free will. Okay. So we're going to use this one. We're just going to say, hi. Here we are. And we're about August right now, you guys. So nearing, not quite at the end, but it feels like the ending of summer is going to come up here in the next couple of weeks. And I'm already feeling it in the air, and it's such a bummer to me. Oh my gosh, something just fell. So I want to ask about that, the endings of the summer. We're going to talk about that one. And then we're going to ask about the transition into September, into the fall. What does the fall have in store for us in the transition month of September? Right here, this one. And then, okay, let's do that first, and then we'll see what else we have. Because we might want to use the Sacred Destiny deck. We might want to use that one, this one too. Okay, so right now, the endings. Surrender. Collectively, there is an opportunity for ending, to find relief. This comes from a big ask. It seems like a big ask. Surrender seems like a huge ask, and it sounds like you're giving up. And it's true. It's true. You are giving up. Do you know what you're giving up? What no longer fits. The stuff that doesn't serve you, the stuff that you've been hanging on to, the stuff that you've believed from other people that now have caused you to act or behave or choose things that are really not yours, that you would have never chosen in the first place. And you're looking back going, what? Surrender. Just give yourself permission to give it up. Just give it up. Give up the pain, give up the fear, give up the guilt of feeling bad for your mistakes. Just give up on what you thought life would be. Just surrender into this moment so that things can end, they can calm, they can settle, and natural energy of time can let things flow away that are no longer accurate for you, that are no longer in service to you or to the people with you. These things are just not, they're not helping anymore. They're so outdated. Surrender. When I work with some archetypal, divine feminine archetypal energy, this surrender is connected with the Great Mother. And that is earth energy. That is really about what are you being present for? That's about being present. Where your power is in the present. So what are you present for? And in order to do that, you have to really just surrender to be with what is showing up right here and acknowledge that the energy pressure or push or stress that you feel is probably past stuff. It's past stuff squeezing into you because it's being brought up. It might be being weaponized against you. It might be something from memories that you have. It might be some trauma that you've experienced, things that are coming up for you. It might be a reoccurring pattern. It could just simply be a fear of the unknown. All of those things are valid. But this is about being here, because this is where the power is. This is where you make decisions. This is where you show up fully in the moment. So you have to surrender this other crap, this past stuff that is affecting you now, because it does inform your decisions. It informs your behavior. Okay. So this is what it's time for first. We're going to lay this down. This is part of the ending of the summer. We're just going to surrender and release into the fact that the summer is going to change, and that's okay. It's just the natural life cycle. That's okay. This reminds me of like kids going back to school. It reminds me, there's a lot of meditation energy here and a lot of calmness. I want to be clear on that. This is not giving up in a horrible way. This is giving up in a way like you're walking through the airport, you have tons of bags, and your travel buddy says, hey, let me take that for you, and grabs one of your bags for you, lightens the load. That's what this is about. Surrendering is about lightening the load, okay? Setting some things down, okay? You can pick it back up later if you need that as part of your identity. However that works for you, no judgment. You can pick it back up later. Surrender right now, though. Just allow that, just to be here. All right, so that's the first one. Now, stepping into September, kind of that transitional time into the fall. Ooh, this is what the card is, okay? Again, this is the Kyle Gray deck. I have it linked below, I believe. The Angel Guide. Okay. I love this deck because of the vibrant colors, obviously. Hello, Orange, Sacral Chakra. You know I love that, Sacral Chakra. Oh, yes, Divine Feminine. Woohoo. All right. So for September, do the work. It literally says do the work. You better work, right? I'm totally hearing songs in my head right now. You got to go to work. Hello, Fifth Harmony. Okay. Do the work. Do the work. And it makes sense because September is often, end of August and September is often the back to school vibe. And even though we're out of school, okay, many of us, some of you may not be, but I think because of all that time we've spent with that cycle of the season, it gets into fall and we think learning and education and going back to school, it feels like this totally makes sense. Do the work. Like fresh start, this might be for you. Hey, that sign you need to start a new project. Do that. Whether it be start to write a book, whether it be to find a publisher, whether it be to build a website, whether it be to start a podcast or start your coaching business, however that looks like, maybe it's time to start charging for your readings. Maybe you've been doing cards for people for so long and you need to charge for that because it's such a benefit. Look at what we're doing here. It's such a benefit when it's very personalized. Oh, so do the work. The colors here, I want to mention. So the colors here, super yellow, very gold solar plexus, very much connection with your intuition, your soul chakra, your spirit. That energy could be connected to Archangel Gabriel. He is one of my absolute favorite, just such a great angel that really is a stand for communication and connection. So if you're not sure what work you're supposed to be doing, this could be heavy duty stuff for you too. It could be inner work. It could be like, just do the work. You're going to drag your feet for another 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 2 years, 3 years. And eventually, sooner or later, you're going to have to do the work. So maybe if you want to have a better quality of life sooner, do it now. This is the time. So if you have contemplated going on a deeper inner journey, a healing journey, maybe you've been drawn to some kind of online program that really puts you out of your comfort zone. Maybe you're talking about moon cycles or astrology or Celtic wheel of the year, or it's a divine feminine group or something like that. Maybe this means do that because you have this incredible opportunity right now to do the work inside you. If that's where you're at and that's what you want, if you really want to change your life for the better, to really, if you're willing to, because you'll have to see your stuff, you'll have to see where you're lying to yourself. You'll have to see where you are out of integrity and you won't be able to live the same way. I can promise you that you won't be able to. And that's a good thing. That, my friends, is a good thing because we are reinventing ourselves. We are reawakening the truest and most authentic aspects of ourselves, right? Do the work. You might have help of Archangel Gabriel to do that. Also, Archangel Uriel, Uriel, also helps with intuition. So you can call on either one of these archangels to step in and support you with whatever it is that you're working on. Maybe you actually have decided to go back to school and you're like doing it. I'm like so proud of you if you are. Oh my gosh, high five, high five. I am so proud of you if you are. That is not an easy decision to make. And I know it's an investment and I think it's awesome. I think it's going to help you feel good about yourself. I know it's going to be hard at first, but you'll find a rhythm and you will make it happen. I totally believe in you. Just an affirmation of that for some of you. All right. Okay, so those are great. All right, I did have one. Did you notice when I originally pulled this deck out that flipped out? Did you see that? I kind of set it aside because I thought I might be talking too long and you guys will get bored of this video. I don't like to do long ones, but I have to do it. This other card, we'll see. So what is this card for? We're going to call this the wild card. So what I'm going to ask you to do is consider a situation or circumstance in your life. Just really feel that. Feel it in your heart. It could be a place of pain or healing that you just want some relief on. It could be a question about a job or a love or a lifestyle choice you want to make. Maybe you're going to move, or maybe you're going to start a new exercise class or something, or it could be any number of things. It could be about you or a family member, anything. Okay, so ask a question. Focus on a topic area. Really focus on that area. Okay, and then I'm going to interpret the card in a broad context. So let me see. So we talked about August and the ending of summer with our surrender card. And then we talked about the change into September, and we got our do the work. Surrender right now, and then do the work. This feels like a ton of opportunity, you guys. This feels very, very, these together are so abundant. This is preparing us for abundance, is how it feels to me. So what am I going to ask? Let's see. This is hard because I've been using this deck a lot and it's giving me very accurate and direct information. So I don't know what I need to ask, something kind of general. Let's see, what should I ask? Oh, okay. I'll ask a question about my business. I'm going to think about my business, about you guys, okay? About my work as an intuitive coach, my work as a YouTuber, and as a facilitator of divine feminine groups. Oh, motivational speaker. Yes, I'm going to ask about that. Motivational speaker. Because that's like my love. I love that. I can't wait to like do that more, you know? Like I want that. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to ask about that. My work, my business. I'm asked about that. Okay. All right. You ready? You got your thing? Okay. Here you go. Oh, well, this is easy. Yes. Yes. Oh, let's be clear. Before we asked our question, before we focused on an area of our life, okay, before we actually did that for a moment, this card was already ready, anticipating the energy of what you were going to ask. So if you asked a question, yes, this is a variety of energy too. You got the orange, which is creativity, which is sacral chakra, which is what is deeply meaningful for you. I feel like this is relationship-based. Everything is relational, but relationship-based. It feels like it has to do with something external or outside of you that is influencing you. Something external and outside of you in your circumstance, situation, or question is influencing you. Something outside of you has more say than you do. Yes, everybody. Did you hear me? Whatever you asked about, here's a perspective. Something outside of you is influencing you far more than it has the credibility, the reliability, or the love to do. That's your throne to sit on. You decide. Something outside of you right now is messing with the energy, messing with it. It could be your own like beliefs about yourself. Maybe you think I'm too shy to be a motivational speaker, or I'm too old to date, or I'm not quite healthy enough where I'm at in this point in my life to do that walk or participate in a marathon or start a new exercise thing, whatever it is for you. It could be your thinking, your thought process. It could be old patterns in your brain that aren't serving you. This feels a lot like something about the past is really messing you up in this scenario. Whatever you have asked about, something about the past that is outdated, that needs to be surrendered because it just isn't true anymore. Okay. You don't have to keep acting that way. You don't have to keep buying the old storyline of the old book. Write a new book. Write a new playbook. It's time. It's time. Yes. And then we got the fire energy of the light. The fire catalyzes like Callie. I told you about that. She's a fire carrier. This is like creator, preserver, destroyer vibes. That's exactly what these are. Fire and light, inspiration. The energy of the blue is vision. What do you see? See clearly. See yourself, not through your old eyes. It's like wearing old glasses that don't fit or somebody else's glasses because you're so different now. You are a different place. Stop acting like you're the old person that you always have been for the last 10 years. You are different. It's okay. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Are other people comfortable with it? No. Does it matter? No, unless you allow it to matter. So things outside of you, that stuff outside of you is affecting too much this question you asked about. So you have to recognize that. Quiet the external noise, go within yourself and really get some insights. And you have to be willing. That blue is also truth energy. You have to be willing to know what is true and what is not for you. And you may have been not so transparent within yourself. You may not have been being as authentic as you thought. You need to check yourself. This is an opportunity to do that. Yes, is the answer. Wow, that's pretty blunt and bold and upfront. All right, so I want to do this. I'm not sure how long have we been talking, you guys. Oh yeah, a bit. I'm going to do another reading with Kali, with this card deck, this new card deck I got, because it's totally different vibe. Well, not totally different, because we have done that energy of the past, present, and future. We basically have done that with this. So that's great. So don't worry, I'll do other card readings in the future. We'll get to that Sacred Destiny deck. It's a super grounded deck. It's a great deck. So we'll get to that as well. All right. Hey, I hope I've inspired your spirit today and filled you with some hope. Encouraged you to live your life. This is your life after all, and you get to live it. Just live it. Thanks for watching.